All right, so to finish it off with our last step of our hypothesis testing process, we're going to be interpreting our results. Do you reject or not reject the null hypothesis? What does this mean in the context of the data? So we're going to end up with an answer that kind of in a way looks similar to what we saw in the previous one. So this kind of paragraph that we see right here, this is the entire key to the rest of the problems that we are going to be doing in Chapter 8. So, interpreting our results using the p-value to achieve the significance level of alpha, we reject the null hypothesis if the p-value is less than or equal to alpha. Right? Our p-value is very small, we are very surprised, and we reject the null hypothesis. We do not reject the null hypothesis if the p-value is greater than alpha. Right? That means we are not surprised, so we do not reject it. So what I'm going to write underneath here, I'm going to say that if our p-value is less than or equal to alpha, right, we reject the null hypothesis. If our p-value is greater than alpha, right, then we do not reject our null hypothesis. Right? I strongly suggest writing these two little sentences down on a postcard, or a note card, on a post-it note, right? Something, and having this handy as you're going through and working through the rest of the problems. Because when we get to our final step, whether it's a question on the mini quiz, whether it's a question in the homework, whether it's a question on the test, even some on the final, we're going to be using these two statements over and over and over again as we go through these last couple of chapters. So if our p-value is less than or equal to alpha, we're going to reject our null hypothesis. If our p-value is greater than alpha, we are not going to reject our null hypothesis.